With Microsoft hosting digital events to hype up its next-generation Xbox Series X, it's still somewhat hard to believe that E3 2020 isn't happening. For better and certainly for worse, the event has had its standout moments over the years. So let's look back at some of the best moments from Microsoft's E3 pressers and how it made an impact on history in its own quirky ways. Halo 2 gameplay demo revealed, E3 2003. The Halo 2 E3 2003 demo stands out for many infamous reasons, exposing the culture of smoke and mirror showings at E3 along with how misleading a reveal could be. Nevertheless, at the time, it was awesome. Seeing Master Chief return to Earth with a major city under siege, dual-wielding weapons, and embarking on an extended cleanup mission against the Covenant was just incredible. Incredibly misleading compared to the final product, sure, but still incredible. Peter Moore gets a tattoo, reveals Halo 2 release date E3 2004. Game companies tend to announce release dates with trailers or press releases, but back in the day, outlandish stunts were the norm, and corporate VP Peter Moore's stunt was a prime example. After a multiplayer demo for the game, Moore would pull up his sleeve to reveal a tattoo of Halo 2's logo. Just above it, a release date for November 9th. Corny, but it worked.
They said they'd believe that the day I tattooed that on my arm. Skeptical bunch. Well, fellas, I got your release date right here.
Gears of War revealed, E3 2005. A number of IPs were revealed for the first generation Xbox, and not all of them stuck. Blink's the time sweeper we hardly knew ye. For the Xbox 360, however, Microsoft had big plans. It unveiled Gears of War, developed by Epic Games, which netted several awards for being the best game at the show. The momentum only increased from there as the over-the-top violence and unique mechanics, like the chainsaw bayonet, shined in a subsequent gameplay reveal at E3 2006. Looking back, Gears of War has certainly come a long way since then. Peter Moore gets another tattoo, this time for Grand Theft Auto 4. E3 2006. Oh, Peter Moore was at it again. At E3 2006, he confirmed that yes, that Halo 2 tattoo was indeed real, but then rolled up his left sleeve to reveal something else, the Grand Theft Auto 4 logo. Not only was it coming to Xbox 360, that too on day one of launch, but there would also be an exclusive episodic DLC for Xbox Live. Granted, that episodic DLC would be timed exclusive, but it was a momentous occasion for Microsoft's third-party relationships at the time.
Some guys do rubber ducks, some guys do tattoos. So what I'd like to show you is my new edition.
Final Fantasy XIII announced for Xbox 360, E3 2008. Once upon a time, Final Fantasy was exclusive to PlayStation consoles, before being exclusive to Nintendo consoles, but that's another thing. Final Fantasy XIII appealed to be the next big step forward along with Final Fantasy Versus 13, with both originally announced for PS3. However, at Microsoft's E3 2008 presser, Square Enix dropped a bombshell. Final Fantasy XIII would be coming to Xbox 360 as well. Though many hardcore fans were livid, it did serve as a catalyst for the franchise to finally go multi-console, even if some fans look back on Final Fantasy XIII in less than a fond manner.
We'll see her again, and soon. You convinced me of that, so stay strong.
Fallout 3 gameplay debuts, E3 2008.
We're ecstatic to show publicly for the first time here today Fallout 3 demoed live. Let's take a look.
E3 2008 had other big announcements though, including the first ever gameplay reveal for Fallout 3. This was significant due to the franchise now being owned by Bethesda. Fans were eager to see just how well the post-apocalyptic simulator had been translated into first person. For the most part, it was successful, and Microsoft further benefited by announcing exclusive DLC for Xbox Live and games for Windows. If you think about it, this kind of kickstarted the whole tradition of Fallout reveals happening at Microsoft E3 pressers, What with Fallout 4 being showcased at E3 2015 and Fallout 76 at E3 2018. Project NATAL announced, E3 2009. Microsoft's strange and underwhelming reveal of Kinect in 2010 aside, it did pave the way for the motion sensor to become a huge success. It all began at E3 2009 when Project NATAL was first announced. Project NATAL seemed almost unreal, which is ironic given the fate of Milo and Kate. Kinect may have receded into the background ever since, but it certainly had its time to shine. Hideo Kojima appears to announce Metal Gear Solid Rising, E3 2009.
What's the one blockbuster franchise that every Xbox 360 owner has always wanted to play?
Hey, Don. Hey, Don.
Yeah!
However, for Metal Gear Solid fans, E3 2009 had a different appeal altogether. For the first time ever, series creator Hideo Kojima would appear on a Microsoft stage. It wasn't to announce the next big sequel, but something else entirely, Metal Gear Solid Rising, a spin-off starring Raiden. While Kojima Productions would sit on the project for 2 years after that due to issues with the gameplay, the game would later re-emerge as Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, with Platinum Games attached as a developer. But at the time, it was a strange feeling to see yet another PlayStation faithful developer appearing at a Microsoft presser. Xbox 360 Slim revealed, given out free to audience members, E3 2010. The Xbox 360 sold gangbusters when it launched in 2005, but the red ring of death would become a black eye for Microsoft. In E3 2010, it revealed the Xbox 360 Slim, a completely revamped design for the console that laid the infamous red ring of death to rest. This redesign was already a big deal, but then the company gave one out to everyone at its presser, free of charge, marking perhaps the first occasion that such a practice ever occurred at E3.
And it will be available in stores later this week. Unless you are here in the audience at the Wiltern Theater, in which case we're shipping the new Xbox 360 to you right now on us.
Xbox 360 backwards compatibility announced for Xbox One, E3 2015. It's amazing to look back on Microsoft's E3 2015 presser and see how many great announcements there were. Sure, HoloLens and the Valve VR partnership went nowhere, but we got Rare Replay, Cuphead, Forza Motorsport 6, and much more. Perhaps the biggest announcement was that Xbox 360 titles would be playable on the Xbox One. This backwards compatibility didn't even require purchasing the games again. If you had the Xbox 360 disc, just insert it into the console and you download a digital version of the game ready to play on the Xbox One. It was an amazing quality of life change and a great way to keep older titles relevant, especially when some would see decent graphical improvements. Project Scorpio announced, E3 2016. It was pretty obvious after the first year or so that the PS4 had won this generation's console war against the Xbox One. Try as it might, Microsoft struggled to really make a comeback. So it started making a bunch of other big moves, like announcing the high-end Project Scorpio. A console capable of 4K gaming, with its 8 cores and 6 T-flops of GPU power, Scorpio had also promised support for Xbox One games and accessories. Eventually renamed to the Xbox One X, it served as Microsoft's recommitment to a powerful console while also laying the groundwork for the Xbox Series X. Xbox Play Anywhere announced, E3 2016. Xbox Play Anywhere wasn't the biggest surprise of Microsoft's E3 2016 presser, but it was still most welcome. It allowed players to purchase a game on Xbox One and also receive a copy of it free of charge on PC. This would extend to cross-save as you could play on the console and continue progress on your desktop. With Xbox Game Pass expanding as it has and more exclusives making use of this function, Xbox Play Anywhere served as a solid foundation for Microsoft to build off of. Microsoft acquires Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Undead Labs, E3 2018. Of course, as it was pointed out several times to the publisher over the years, fans wanted games. Not just a new Halo or Gears of War, but new high-quality IPs. Instead of just announcing new games though, Microsoft went a step further. At E3 2018, it announced that it had acquired developers like Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, Playground Games, and Compulsion Games, while opening a new studio called The Initiative. With Senzua's Saga Hellblade 2 and rumored sequels for Fable and Perfect Dark apparently in the works, this move will see Microsoft with a much stronger lineup for the next generation. Project Scarlett teased, E3 2019. As for when the next generation would be coming, Microsoft teased that a year later. At E3 2019, Xbox boss Phil Spencer would announce Project Scarlett, a console that was to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. 8K resolution support, hardware accelerated ray tracing, 120 frames per second, variable refresh rate. It was hard to believe at the time, but that's what Scarlett promised. Almost a year later, it's looking more real by the day. Keanu Reeves appears in Cyberpunk 2077 and real life, E3 2019. It's difficult to mention highlights for Microsoft at E3 without talking about Keanu Reeves' appearance last year. Not only was it to confirm his role in Cyberpunk 2077, making for one of the few best-kept secrets, but he also appeared live on stage and told everyone that they were breathtaking. Granted, many memes were born as a result, but it was still a stellar moment all the same.
The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
And that wraps it up. If you like what we are doing, please consider subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon. That way you will never miss out on any of our videos.